Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and today I'm playing along with Mad About Mini paper pads. I am late putting this up, so I will have in the description box below everybody who is playing along this month. I didn't get mine in the list because I am, like I said, very late in getting my video up today. But I'm also playing with my Rosie Studio collections. This one that I'm working with today is Wild Wood, and I have the 6x6 paper pad, and so that's what I'm going to focus on. And then I have picked out a whole bunch of ephemera that you see off to the side. I apologize, apparently I can't speak today. So to start my layout, I have a piece of blue cardstock that's going to frame my layout, and that is from the Wildwood collection. And then I just have a piece of white cardstock that is going to be my base. And then I took 6 of the 6x6 pattern papers from the collection, and I cut them in about, I want to say about a 3.5 by a 5.5 size. For each of the 6 pattern papers that I chose from the 6x6. And then I'm just matting my photo here with one of the 6x6 pattern papers, which is like a grid with some florals, and then a white scrap of paper from my stash. And so that's going to be the photo. And as you can see, I've kind of laid out my background, and I am going with sort of a grid. No, I would definitely say, yeah, it's definitely a grid style layout for sure. And so I didn't think I kept all this in, but I actually must have left it all in. So you get to see everything, because I laid out how I wanted my background to look, but then I decided that I needed to add something to it, because if you know me, you know I can't leave my backgrounds. I generally have to have splatters or something on my backgrounds. And so here I am grabbing, I believe that is Distress Oxide in Blue Jean. I used that for all the blue papers, and then I'm going to set those off to the side. And I'm going to bring in the other 3 pattern papers. All of the other 3 pattern papers that you see me using here, all 3 of these are yellow or have yellow as the color. The top one is like a little yellow floral. And so I'm going to take some gold Heidi Swap color shine, which I cannot get the top of this bottle off, so I end up having to spray it here to the side. And I take my paintbrush with some water, and I do some splatters on the background. That lid is like, I think I got some of the liquid on the outside, and so it will not screw off the top at all. So I just spray it now and add some splatters with my paintbrush. So that is what I'm doing here. So now once all of these dry, I'm going to off camera go ahead and glue them down in the exact same order that you saw me lay them down in the beginning. And I also go ahead and get my entire background glued down off camera. So here you see I've got it all glued down. You can see all the splatters. So now I have some interest. And now it's the fun part. So I have all of these embellishments that you see off to the side. I just kind of made piles with some random embellishments from the collection. There's chipboard, there is florals, there's some of the sort of word ephemera, there is some of just like the small ephemera pieces. I have little bits of everything from all the bits and pieces that are in that collection. So I am just going to basically create a little cluster that's going to live on each one of those pieces of paper that make up my grid in my background. And I'm trying to figure out here where this butterfly is going to go, because it is large, and I leave it up here at the top for quite a while, but it does move, but you'll see that as we go. And so you can also see that as I'm putting these together, and you'll kind of see it as we go through, pieces that I don't end up using I kind of discard. So what I do when I create my layouts is I kind of go through, pick a whole bunch of pieces that I think I'm going to use, and then oftentimes what ends up happening is as I'm creating the clusters, I don't end up using everything that I've chosen. So you'll see me kind of go through and throw off to the side what isn't going to make it into the clusters. Although for this one, I have to say I used the majority of the pieces that I pulled. And so when I'm creating my little embellishment clusters for this, I am trying to keep in mind that I don't want to have them all be in the same spot on that pattern paper for each piece of my grid. So the first one that I did is more top right of the sort of paper. This one here, at first I had it up a lot higher. It's actually going to go down lower. It's sort of, I'd say, bottom, middle on the left. So you'll see each time I create these little clusters that I am trying to move them around so that they aren't all exactly in the same or in the center of those pattern papers. I just like that for the interest and to give it just a different kind of feel than everything being very centered. This cluster up here, I also have my clusters, at least some of them will kind of go off of the grid or the pattern paper. I do like that as well. It kind of pulls the whole layout together. And this one, I am just playing with these pieces. I have these, this set of pairs in this little ephemera piece. I end up hiding those because not that anything on this has anything to do with the picture. It's of my son and my husband, and we're eating breakfast. None of these things have anything to do with this, but it was a picture that I took when we were on vacation, and we were actually in Tennessee, and so I thought the animals kind of made sense since we were near the Smoky Mountains. So that was my justification for this collection in general. I liked the sort of woodland feel of this collection. It kind of worked out perfectly. So here I'm building my last embellishment cluster, and I love that coffee cup that is in this collection. So that was definitely going to make it because we're having breakfast, and I definitely had my coffee that morning. And I'm just going to finish putting these florals in. I have my butterfly that's going to be in my top. What I tried to do as well on each of my clusters, while they don't have the same elements in each cluster, other than maybe you could say the florals, I did try to add something that had an animal on it. So I have the squirrel, I have the butterflies, and then I have a butterfly sort of post-it ephemera piece on the other one. So I wanted to have an animal of some sort on each of my clusters. Now off camera, I did glue everything down. I popped up my photo and I popped up, or at least roughed up, all of the florals to give those dimensions, as well as the butterflies. I popped those up as well. And then I did put my title down because the title, which is Sweet Mornings Together, I ended up having to glue each one of those pieces on because they don't stick. They're that sort of they're those alphas that are like what are they? That's what the one I'm holding right now, that's the sweet. They're not enamel. I guess they're kind of enamel, but they don't ever stick. Same with the letter stickers. So I had to glue those all down, but and that took a minute, so I didn't want to put that in the video. So I did do that off camera. And then to finish it up, I'm really just going to take some of these enamels and place them around. I'm using the hearts, and I did add a little bit to the title so that it didn't feel so left out with embellishment. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. With that, I'm going to finish out this layout with just some drawn in butterfly tails for my two little butterflies here. Still photos will be coming up. Don't forget to check the description box below and see who all was playing along today. They actually had their layouts done on time, but go check them out. This is a fun hop. If you have lots of 6x6 paper pads, feel free to play along and, tag the hop for sure. It's a great way to use up your 6x6 paper pads or your smaller size paper pads. So with that, guys, here's the still photo, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.